y'all, welcome back. My name is Shamika, and this is Check the Rhymes. I am super excited that you're here as always, and I'm super excited to be back recording Check the Rhymes content for you. So today we are going to be talking about food so good you can feel it in your soul. Let me know in the comments what kind of food that is for you. But joining me today for the first time on Check the Rhymes TV is James Beard Award nominee, best-selling author, and trailblazing chef Deborah VanTrece. She's here to talk about season 2 of her hit FYI series, Global Soul Kitchen. And it kicks off the premiere on Monday, May 26th with back-to-back episodes. I love when they do that. At 10 o'clock, again, that's on FYI. So you don't want to miss today's show, so stay tuned. Hi, Chef Deborah. Welcome to Check the Rhymes.
Good morning.
How are you?
I am amazing. Thank you for asking. And how about you?
I'm doing well, and I was going through your Instagram like, I want to eat that. I want to eat that. I want to eat that. So we've got
choices.
Yeah, we've got Global Soul Kitchen coming back for a second season. What can we expect this season?
I think I took a little bit more bolder risk, the first season, the audience got a chance to kind of see what I'm all about, what I'm doing here in Atlanta. But this year, it's like I really wanted to take them a little bit more around the world and explore cuisines from every culture I could come up with. So I still have some, left for season 3, but I think, it's a good touch of things for season 2.
Okay. Well, what kind of flavor mashups can we expect? I thought I read something about some Jamaican beef pot pie or something like that. I want to know a little more about that.
Jamaican beef pot pie is going to be like one of the big winners. Of course, it's a play on Jamaican beef patties. And when I looked at the recipes and looked at, that actual dish, it just seemed like something that would work really, really well in a pot pie. I'm looking for comfort. I'm looking for fun, and a little bit of innovation and creativity, and putting the two together gave me exactly what I was looking for. There's some really cool things. I think one of the most shocking ones that people have tried and say, is a Polish dish, a Polish dill pickle soup. But we're going to be barbecuing salmon on a stovetop. So it's going to be something that anyone can do. And we're going to put the two together. So it becomes like a barbecue salmon dill pickle soup, like a chowder. But the flavor combos, they sound a little crazy. But if you think about it, salmon and dill go together. So when you taste it all together, it's pretty like amazing.
Well, it does sound like those two things would be good. I might have to try to make that one. I'm not the best cook, so.
This one is pretty simple. And when I first heard about, just dill pickle soup, I thought, all right, who came up with this and why? And once I tried it, I thought, okay, this is really good. But what if we did this, and this to it? So I think the combination will be something that the audience will really get into.
Yeah, so I know some of that you were a flight attendant, so your travels influenced a lot of your recipes, but even now, where are you finding inspiration? Are you just kind of doing research online or still traveling around?
I still travel. I do a lot of research online, and I eat out all the time. I love, like festivals. I love traveling. I love stores, grocery stores and markets. So for me, when I hit a space or hit a new city, that's what I'm looking for, and trying to figure out what they do with these ingredients. And once I learn what they do with it, I start thinking, what else could be done? What does it remind me of, from my past or from my history, and come up with these amazing combinations.
Oh, I love that. Since you mentioned you love eating out, I'm in North Carolina. I wonder if you have any favorite places in North Carolina that you love to eat.
I am, again, actually, I've gone to North Carolina to cook in Charlotte a few times.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of restaurants there, and a couple of chefs that I'm real fond of.
Hmm.
I know there's a chef, Whitney Thomas, who I got to work with for a while. And I
Yeah.
know Whitney is traveling all over.
Yes,
So I'm
she
not
is.
sure where she's at now, but she's absolutely an incredible talent and absolutely amazing. And Chef Greg Collier,
Hmm.
him and his wife are doing some amazing things there. So
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. Um, and I love the festival that they have been putting on, the Bay Haven. So I've
Hmm.
gotten a chance to participate in that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, anybody who calls me and says, "Hey, girl, come on and let's go cook," I'm right there. I
I
am
love
right
it.
there.
I love it. And I'm in
Yes.
Charlotte, so I know exactly who you're talking about. I've
Okay.
interviewed Whitney before and attended one of her.
Yes.
I think when I first met her, I can't remember the restaurant, but it was like a small
Mhm.
tasting. And I was like, "Ooh, this is so
Yes.
delicious."
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Extremely talented. Yes.
So how do soul food has obviously deep cultural roots. So how do you strike that balance between honoring our traditional soul food and then introducing those global twists?
I think food is really a window to our cultures. I also know that we as individuals, we have gone away from some of those traditions.
Mhm.
We have them, but we're not the same people that our ancestors were. We have access to a lot more, even the assimilation of all the different types of people that we are around. So we're learning so much more, so it's bringing so much more to our culture. So I don't think, that we'll ever forget where we came from. I make sure of that because when I look at food, I still go back to my base. I go
Mhm.
back to, my roots and that foundation, but I take a look and I think, let's make some new traditions. Let's do
Yeah,
some new things. And I hope we continue to grow on the traditions and build on what we already know.
I love that. And so for my last question, I have to know because I don't know about, I'm sure you do, but I know a lot of people, myself included, when I do decide to go in the kitchen to cook, I have to listen to some music. And since this is Check the Rhymes, I have to know what kind of soul music are you listening to while you're cooking?
You would be surprised. I go from one extreme to the other. I grew up at a time where, I got the opportunity to listen to all genres.
Hmm.
So you may come in one day and it's, Jill Scott. It may be Brian Culberson one
Hmm.
day. It may be Glorilla the next.
Ah,
It
you
just,
my people.
I just want music. I just want music. And I have fun with it.
Yeah.
So as I know the viewers see me dancing in the kitchen,
Uh-huh.
that is not made up. That is actually what I do in my kitchen. I sing, I dance, and I think that in another life, that's probably what I was made to do.
I love it. All I can think of now is Glorilla's Let Her Cook. I love it. Chef Deborah, thank you so much for joining me here on Check the Rhymes. Season 2 of Global Soul Kitchen kicks off on Monday, May 26th, with back-to-back episodes starting at 10 o'clock on FYI. I will be sat in front of the TV watching, taking notes. So thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much for having me.